Hey, well, hello everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the CAL FIRE Office of the State Fire Marshal webinar series, where we will focus on the new National Emergency Response Information System. My name is Kara Garrett, and I will be the moderator of this webinar series. This specific webinar will last about an hour, and it will be recorded. Please type any questions into the Q&A portion of your screen, and after our featured speaker has completed his presentation, we will be holding a question and answer session. Should you encounter any issues, please do not hesitate to give me a call at 916-201-5539 or send me an email at my email listed in the chat. I will now turn it over to Chief Mike Moreland, who will be sharing more information about the National Emergency Response Information System. Go ahead, Chief.
Okay, and with some of the luck of the Irish, to see if I can get this party started for you.
Looks good.
Okay, hello everyone and welcome. My name is Mike Moreland, Deputy Chief of our CalStats program at CAL FIRE, which oversees incident reporting and fire occurrence data for the state of California as authorized by the Health and Safety Code. We are thrilled to be hosting today's webinar on the National Emergency Response Information System, also known as NERIS. The transition from NFIRS and what you can expect over the next 9 months as we navigate this change together. For those of you joining from fire departments across California, whether you're a data analyst, a fire chief, or involved in records management, this session is designed to give you the knowledge and insight to ensure a smooth transition. We also want to welcome members of the public who are here to learn more about how this shift will improve emergency response capabilities statewide. Now, so I know many of you have likely attended some of the NERIS webinars hosted by the U.S. Fire Administration, or USFA, and the Fire Safety Research Institute, or FSRI. You may recognize some of those slides we'll cover today, but that's intentional. It's crucial that we deliver a unified, consistent message about this transition so every fire department in California is prepared. The reason for today's webinar is simple. We want California to be more than just NERIS ready. We want our fire service to lead the way. This transition isn't just about changing reporting systems. It's about improving our ability to protect lives, property, and the communities in near real-time analytics, better integrations, and enhanced situational awareness. Before we dive into the details, let's take a look at today's agenda. This session will cover background, understanding why we're making this transition, and the challenges we're addressing. What is NERIS? A quick look into what NERIS is, how it differs from NFIRS, and what it brings to the fire service. Timelines, key dates and milestones as we move towards full implementation. Onboarding, what departments need to do to prepare for data collection to integration with CAD and RMS systems. NFIRS transition, what you need to know about the phase out of NFIRS and how to ensure your department remains compliant. And finally, the information pipeline, how you can stay up to date about NERIS moving forward. As the state fire agency, CAL FIRE's role is to guide, support, and assist fire departments across California through this transition. We are here to help fire departments understand what's changing and why, provide resources, updates, and assistance in navigating this transition. Ensure that every department in California is ready when the time comes. And lastly, help spread information so that all agencies have a unified approach. We are not here to provide technical support for NERIS or your RMS systems. That's a function of your RMS provider or the NERIS support team. Our focus is on ensuring that you have the right information and a clear roadmap to make this transition smooth for your department. The goal of today's webinar is not just to inform, but to equip you with the knowledge and tools to ensure your department is fully prepared when it's time to transition. This is a significant change, but it's also an opportunity to modernize how we collect and use fire and emergency response data. With that, let's start by looking at the background, how we got here, and why this transition is happening now. NFIRS has been around since the 1970s, and as you can see, there is a sunset date. After 2025, NFIRS will no longer be supported. We'll discuss what that means in more depth later. But the key takeaway here is change is coming, and California needs to be ready. As we've seen, so much has changed in the fire service over the past 25 years. Our bunker gear and PPE have improved, our apparatus and equipment have evolved. Our communications, tactics, and strategies have advanced. The way we train, deploy resources, and respond to emergencies has changed. Yet despite all these advancements, NFIRS has remained largely the same. It's time to modernize. That's why this transition to NERIS is so important, to ensure we're capturing data in the way that reflects today's fire service, not the fire service of 20 years ago. With that in mind, let's take a closer look at what NERIS is and how it will change the way we report and use incident data. So what is NERIS? Imagine this. You're a fire chief trying to understand your department's response times over the past year. You pull up NFIRS data, but it's delayed, incomplete, and requires manual work to analyze. Now imagine a system where you get near real-time data on your fire department's incidents. You see response time analytics that help optimize staffing. You integrate directly with CAD and RMS to eliminate redundant reporting. That's what NERIS is all about. It is designed to give fire departments more powerful, timely, and actionable data than ever before. It's not just a new reporting tool. It's a system built to support decision-making, improve situational awareness, and enhance emergency response nationwide. So what exactly makes NERIS different? Let's break it down. Now, let's be honest. A lot of people are nervous or concerned about NERIS, and I get it. This is a big change, and so far, there hasn't been much that you can physically see, touch, or test, right? It's been mostly discussions, presentations, like this one today, I know, and high-level information. For those of you who have been following the development of NERIS, you might be feeling that uncertainty or even more, but that's about to change. What's happening below the surface is really what makes NERIS different. NERIS isn't just a replacement for NFIRS. It's a complete transformation on how we collect, analyze, and use data in the fire service. The real power of NERIS is going to come from advanced analytics, providing near real-time insights to improve decision-making, APIs and integration, seamless connections with CAD, RMS, and critical systems, new data schemas, a structure designed for modern emergency response needs, a stronger system architecture built for reliability, scalability, and usability. For firefighters, simplified reporting by selecting incident types that accurately depict the scene, eliminating the guesswork of single category constraints. Going from 800 fields in NFIRS to 300 fields in NERIS. This isn't just a reporting system. It's a tool that will enhance operational intelligence for fire departments nationwide. What makes us excited about NERIS is how these features will impact our departments. Here's what you need to know right now about the transition to NERIS. Keep using your current system. Continue submitting to NFIRS until your department officially transitions to NERIS. 2025, it will be a hybrid reporting year. This means some departments will be using NFIRS, others nationwide will be using NERIS, but no one will report in both systems at the same time. We'll talk more about this in a few minutes. RMS vendors are working closely with NERIS and FSRI. They're integrating the new schemas and getting ready for this shift. Stay updated. That's why we're here. We don't want any department to be caught off guard. Make sure to sign up for NERIS communications and webinars. And most importantly, NFIRS will no longer be used starting in 2026. So departments need to be ready. Here's what's happened so far in the transition to NERIS between late 2023 and early 2024. beta schemers were released, and public engagement generated over 1,600 comments. A leadership and technical panel was established to guide the system's framework and design. 6 fire departments began evaluating and testing the prototype. By August of 2024, 56 fire departments were onboarded and began their transition to NERIS as beta testers. These early adopters have been instrumental in shaping the system and ensuring that NERIS meets needs of the fire departments nationwide. Finally, last November, 111 fire departments were onboarded into the NERIS platform as additional early adopters. Across the country, 48 states are represented in the NERIS early adopter program. Nearly 500 fire departments submitted requests to participate, with 56% of all career departments included. In California, several agencies have stepped up as early adopters, including CAL FIRE, Fresno City Fire, Nevada County Consolidated Fire District, San Bernardino County Fire Department, Orange County Fire Authority, Sacramento Metro Fire. And we just nominated 2 more departments as early adopters, the City of Manhattan Beach and Selma Fire Departments. These departments are at the forefront of testing and implementing NERIS version 1, helping shape the system before the full rollout. Their participation ensures that California's fire service has a strong voice in this transition, and their feedback is helping refine how NERIS will function in the real world. Unlike NFIRS, NERIS is designed to integrate seamlessly with a wide range of critical systems, including RMS, or Records Management Systems, CAD, or Computer-Aided Dispatch, IRWIN, or Integrated Reporting of Wildland Fire Information, Next-Gen 911 Systems, NEMSIS, or National Emergency Medical Service Information System, Census Bureau and National Weather Service, FEMA Go for AFG grants, and many more. This means that instead of operating in data silos, fire departments will have more connected system that streamlines support reporting and improves data accuracy. NERIS is also designed to evolve over time. Unlike NFIRS, NERIS will continue to adapt based on the needs of the fire service. Not everything will be available right away, but the long-term vision is clear. Less time spent filling out reports, better, more accurate data, stronger analytics to support decision-making. The goal is simple: spend less time on reporting and more time using data to improve fire service operations. Now, one of the biggest improvements with NERIS is the ability to enter up to 3 incident types simultaneously. This better reflects the real-world complexity of emergency responses. This is a major shift from NFIRS and ensures that our incident reporting aligns with how emergencies actually unfold in the field. So what does this all mean? It means more accurate reporting, stronger situational awareness, and better data-driven decisions at every level. Whether it's resource allocation, risk assessment, or after-action reviews, NERIS gives us a clearer picture to improve how we respond and serve our communities. Every fire department will have its own NERIS profile, a centralized hub for key data that enhances decision-making and operational awareness. Your profile will include department operations, staffing, deployment, and resource tracking, incident trends and performance metrics, response times, incident types, and operational insights, and community risk and response insights, identifying trends in planning for evolving risk. Within your profile, one of the biggest improvements NERIS brings is how we capture, categorize, and analyze incident data. This isn't just about logging responses. It's about making our data work for us. With NERIS, fire departments will be able to track more detailed incident information, including property details, response times, and tactical actions taken. Capture significant event metrics, such as rescues, evacuations, and critical timestamps from CAD and improve response time calculations with better integration between CAD, RMS, and NERIS. Now let's talk about how NERIS allows departments to choose how to report. We recognize that not all agencies have the same setup, so there's a different pathway to transition based on your department's needs. So basic level reporting can be done with the free NERIS data capture app for departments that need a simple reporting tool. This is ideal for eNFRS users. If your department currently reports through eNFRS, this will be your transition path. Intermediate reporting is for departments that have CAD but no RMS. NERIS can take CAD data and send it directly into the collection app. For advanced reporting will be for departments that have both CAD and an RMS like ImageTrend, ESO, or FirstDue, just to name a few. Many RMS vendors are already integrating the new NERIS schemas into their systems. Be sure to read emails from your RMS vendor for updates and implementation timelines. The transition to NERIS is a two-phased process for every department. Phase 1 is adding attributes about your department. Departments will need to input key details, including operations, deployments, staffing, and geographic service boundaries. We'll discuss what this looks like in more detail shortly. Phase 2 is your reporting transition. Departments will either use a NERIS collection app or integrate their data through a third-party RMS vendor. The goal is a smooth transition with minimal disruption. This process ensures that every department is set up correctly before switching to NERIS. NERIS will roll out in 5 key phases throughout 2025, ensuring departments transition smoothly before NFRS is fully decommissioned. The first groups are starting to onboard now. This includes the early adopters, and we expect full adoption by the end of the year. Each FEMA region has a planned transition window, so your department will receive guidance based on its assigned phase. The key takeaway: if you haven't confirmed your transition timeline with your vendor yet, now is the time to do it. Early preparation will make this transition easier when your department's onboarding date arrives. The phased rollout ensures system reliability and scalability as more departments transition to NERIS. Each state has a scheduled onboarding window. This chart gives a general timeline for each region. This approach allows time for training and support so that departments have the resources they need before going live. California agencies are expected to transition in November. Now, just note that as you may be expected to transition in November, this could be sooner, especially setting up your department's profile within NERIS or your respective RMS. Now that we've covered the rollout plan, let's talk about what your department needs to do to be ready for NERIS. So what do you need to do right now to get ready? Here's a simple checklist. Identify your department's NERIS lead and confirm vendor compatibility. Gather up-to-date department and personnel information, GIS and area boundaries, and local agreements. Prepare by reviewing your unit inventories, CAD and RMS setup, and mutual aid agreements. Share information with your team and other departments in your area. This is about setting up your department for success now, so that the transition to NERIS is seamless when the time comes. Now, one of the biggest challenges we're already seeing is that not all vendors will be NERIS compliant. If you haven't checked with yours yet, do it now. Look for the NERIS compatible badge. This means that your vendor can integrate with the system. If your vendor isn't working towards compliance, now's the time to start that conversation. We are actively reaching out to your departments to confirm vendor details and identify NERIS leads. If you have any questions about where your vendor stands, let's connect after this session. However, it's important to know that vendors are still working to earn their badge. All right, everyone, this is one of the most important takeaways from today's webinar. So if you haven't heard this yet, take note. NFRS is on its way out and the deadlines are set. We want to make sure your department is prepared for this transition so that there are no surprises. Let's go over the key dates and what they mean for your agency. All 2024 NFIRS data must be submitted by April 1st, 2025. Yes, in just 2 weeks. Again, 2025 is going to be a hybrid reporting year. Once your fire department onboards with NERIS, you will stop submitting data into NFIRS. Starting January 1st of 2026, all incident data submissions will be exclusively in NERIS. No more NFIRS entries after this date. All 2025 incidents will have to be submitted by January 15th, 2026. You will have until January 31st of 2026 to edit or modify any 2025 NFIRS incidents. After this deadline, there will be no further opportunities to edit or modify NFIRS incidents. However, you can rest assured, entities contributing data into NFIRS retain ownership of their data. So as we wrap up, one of the most important things you can do is stay informed. NERIS is evolving quickly. It's aggressive. We know. And you don't want to miss critical updates. Scan these QR codes to access the latest frequently asked questions, training videos, and department-specific updates from CalStats. And if you haven't already, sign up for the NERIS email updates. This is the easiest way to ensure your department is ready when the time comes. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not a paid spokesperson for NERIS. Your CAL FIRE team is doing this on our own because we know how important it is to be ready. We know this transition isn't going to be perfect, and neither will NERIS when it first launches. But what we do know is that this is a step forward, and we need your help to make it even better. By staying engaged, providing feedback, and preparing your department, you're helping shape the future of fire data reporting. Let's make sure California is ready. Thank you for joining us today, any stumbling I made along the way, and for your time. Kara, with that, I'm going to pause here and send it back to you.
Thank you, Chief. We will be now opening it up to questions. So if you have a question, please go ahead and use the raise hand feature. And we also have the Q&A box. So if you have a question you'd rather type, please go ahead and type that into the box. And we do have 2 questions. So currently, let's go to the first one. And this is in the order we received it. So Chief, can you hear me?
I can. I just want to make sure you want me to stop sharing.
Yes. Can you see my screen? Let me know.
Yep, I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So first one came in from Tyler Lombard. Am I responsible for reporting 2 different jurisdictions? Last year, I had to create a second profile with a separate email address. Will I be able to report with this new system under one email address, or do I need to have 2 separate accounts still?
You should probably be able to do it with one. That's what I'm going to answer with. But that'll be up to the NERIS team. But you should be able to, when you set this up with them, you should be able to have access to both of those agencies if you were the reporting party for both.
And then next question is from Meg Ripper. Howdy from Australia. Is there a sandpit environment that can be shared with other agencies?
Yes. Yeah, we can connect after this. You can send me an email and I will get in touch with, I will have someone get in touch with you.
Thank you. And I'll go ahead. Is it okay if I put your email in the chat, Chief?
Yes.
Okay. So let me get that done right now. And if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Okay, perfect. We have Blaine Baker. I will allow you to speak, and then we will take James, your question next. Go ahead, Blaine. You can unmute.
I don't hear you, Blaine.
Yeah, I don't hear you either.
You want to type in the chat or you can email me. We'll answer your question.
Okay. So let's go on to James's question. As a contract county, will we have 2 landing pages, one for each FDID?
That's a good question. I don't believe so. I think that the way that the contract counties are reporting now with the state FDID and their own FDID, that's going to change. FDIDs are going away. They're going to be going to NERIS IDs. But we are at what CAL FIRE and what we're doing right now with the transition is we're working on that. So if you're a contract county and you're reporting SRA data plus your own data, we're working on as part of that transition. You'll hear from us, I promise.
Okay. And then next question from Lloyd Dalton. Any historical years of NFIRS data appear in NERIS analytics?
No, there will not be any historical NFIRS data that will be available in NERIS.
And
Sorry.
then Blaine, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hey, thank you. All right. So we upload our NFIRS data monthly, right? And we clean it up before we upload it. It sounds like the vendors are going to have a direct connection to this NERIS for this real-time piece. So how do we clean up our data before it gets sent over? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something you'll be able to work with your RMS vendor so that it's not going to directly, you'll have room to manage that so that it's not just sending information there. It'll send it when the RMS or you are ready for that to send.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Sophia, I saw your question in the chat. I put into the chat a link for everyone. We will be posting this webinar recording on our webinars page. That link is right there. And we will also be doing a social media page with the recording or social media post with the recording as well. And Sophia, if you still have a question, I'll allow you to speak. Okay, perfect. Any additional questions? We still have a few minutes. Okay. All right. Last chance. Okay. So we will go ahead and continue. Chief, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I was just going to add that this is one of many webinars that we have scheduled, and the purpose of that is to basically give updates. So I don't want it to be a repeated program. I want to be able to give updates as we get it. So as the State Fire Marshal's office, we are getting updates weekly, if not more. So that's what our intention is and whatnot. So we hope to see more of you on those webinars as well.
Thank you, Chief. And everyone, please subscribe on our subscription page. And I did see a question come in. Will the slide deck be shared? Chief, are you okay with me sharing a PDF version of this on our website?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So it will be on that webinar's webpage as well. So, okay. Well, thank you all so much for coming today. And